Hey there. In this video, I'd like to answer a really interesting political question that was sent to me. The question is, should America remove its Confederate statues? That would be the physical depictions which have been created of Confederate generals or leaders which are now in public places across America. This is a very hot topic because on one side there are many people who are very concerned that these statues celebrate the wrong people and that they attract those who connect with the wrong ideas, which leads to division in America and reopens old wounds that need to be left to heal. On the other side, there are those that say that by removing the statue, you're trying to wash away a part of American history, and that things aren't so clear-cut, and that often the side you end up on in a war is more to do with your physical location and family connections than your own ideals, and that ironically it would be prejudice to start just removing all the statues from certain states that were on a certain side. If we look at the two sides, we can see that both have got very good points. So how do we bring them together? I believe the way to do this is to broaden the question. How do we assess when a statue is serving the correct purpose or when it should be amended or removed? To answer this question, we need to look at why as a race we build statues. Now, my personal opinion from what I've observed is that statues are almost always celebrations. They are a means to honour someone who represents an ideal or who has achieved something or lived through a certain event that we don't want to forget. I'm not talking about sculptures which are made for the beauty of the piece. I'm not talking about something created to represent a lesson in history. I'm talking about statues. And to me, they are clearly the celebration method we use for our heroes. So, when we assess a statue, no matter who it is, we need to look at why we've built this and what we're trying to celebrate about that person. Often in this debate, we've heard some attempts at clarification about certain characters. People have said, this person is negative, he was on the wrong side, he's a terrible person, let's remove his statue. And those defending the statue said, no, he's not there for the reasons you're saying. Actually, he held some very noble ideals, which you can see in his letters and in his actions. I believe that this is a wonderful opportunity for honesty. So if this is true, if we have a figure who is actually there for the opposite reasons that some people think they are there for, so if we actually look in their letters, they were against slavery, they stood for equality, they did some great noble things in these directions. Wow, this is a great thing that we can take advantage of. Let's actually get those letters and let's rewrite those words out and put them in a big plaque behind that statue. Let's really make clear why we're celebrating that person so that no one can make a mistake. Now, if there's resistance to doing this, then we may have an opportunity to look at the real reasons. Maybe if someone doesn't want to put the lists of these virtues they've expressed behind the statue or do something near to make clear why that these are the aspects to be celebrated, then it may be the person's got a bit of confusion about why the statue's there that needs to be clarified. So let's amend the statues to represent why we're celebrating and use it as a tool for education. What if the person actually does turn out to be a figure that we don't want, that we can't find any reason to celebrate them for a positive expression? Then it is time to move that statue. Let's not get rid of it, let's put it in a museum and replace it with something more positive. The southern states of America are wonderful, and the people are so great. I think it's unfair to try to classify all these areas just by a very small part of history and just to draw inspirational figures from that small part of history. Let's invest in the celebration of other aspects of culture so that young people growing up there can learn about these and can associate with these figures and get a broader image of their history. So I say invest in more statues, but of figures that might be more clear and may not be misinterpreted so much. Sometimes we have a rare thing, which is a statue of a negative figure, a villain or a criminal, and it's there to tell us what not to do. In those cases, we do need to make that clear as well. And remember that a statue is a tool. It's a tool for our society. So if we can't clarify, if we can't make sure that the statue represents the ideals that the person should represent, if we can't get across why we built it, and that people keep misusing the statue to represent things that the original figure may not have agreed with, and we certainly don't want in our society, we're going to have to move that statue into a museum. We're going to have to get rid of it. And this should apply to all statues across the whole country, or indeed in every country. This is a universal principle. Each assessment should be made individually. My name is Martin Faulks, and that's my opinion on the best use of statues in society. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment box below.